Greetings, fellow seekers. Today, we cast our gaze beyond the shore, to where the waves stretch into the unknown and the depths conceal mysteries beyond reckoning. Beneath the rolling tides and crushing blackness of the ocean's abyss lurks a creature both feared and revered, a beast spoken of in the hushed whispers of sailors and the desperate prayers of those who fear what waits below, the sea serpent. Neither dragon nor mere beast, these aquatic titans haunt the vast and endless waters, their sinuous coils cutting through the currents, their webbed fins propelling them with unnatural grace. Unlike the great worms of the land and sky, sea serpents rule the deep, their presence woven into the very fabric of maritime legend. Some say they are protectors, demanding tribute in exchange for safe passage. Others claim they are harbingers of doom, dragging ships to the abyss for sport or sustenance. But one thing is certain: when the sea stirs and the horizon vanishes beneath the storm, the wise know to fear the shadow beneath the waves. Join us as we uncover the origins, nature and chilling tales of the sea serpent, guardian, destroyer and legend of the abyss. The origins of the sea serpent are as murky as the abyss from which it rises. Some scholars argue that these creatures are distant kin to the great water-dwelling reptiles of old, their power shaped by the tides rather than the skies. While their immense size and predatory nature lead many to compare them to dragons, they lack the elemental breath and arcane mastery that define true worms. Legends from seafaring cultures speak of great serpents that once ruled the oceans, long before mortals carved their dominions upon the land. Some tell of an ancient balance struck between land and water, ensuring that these titans would remain in the depths, so long as they were not disturbed. But there are those who say the balance has been broken. Sea serpents are fiercely territorial, and when ships trespass into their domain, they often face swift and brutal consequences. Fishermen vanish without a trace. Merchant vessels disappear, their shattered remains found months later. Hulls gouged by monstrous fangs, their decks silent save for the echoes of something that rose from the deep and dragged them down. And some return from their voyages half mad, babbling of eyes that gleam like distant stars beneath the waves and coils that move like living storms. To gaze upon a sea serpent is to witness the ocean given form, a being of fluid power, immense size and terrifying grace. Their bodies, stretching dozens of feet, sometimes over 100, are a seamless fusion of coiled muscle and sinew, their scales reflecting the abyss in deep blues and greens. Their webbed fins, both powerful and precise, propel them through the water like silent phantoms of the deep. Unlike dragons, sea serpents have no wings, for they have no need of them. Their serpentine bodies slice through the currents with supernatural efficiency, allowing them to strike and vanish in an instant. Some have sleek, eel-like heads, their jaws lined with serrated teeth that can rend through a ship's hull as easily as flesh. Others bear great crests or elongated spines, trailing like banners in the wake of a living storm. But the most haunting feature of the sea serpent is its eyes. Glowing with an eerie, almost sentient light, their gaze pierces through the deep like a beacon in the darkness. Some sailors claim that locking eyes with a sea serpent brings ruin, that once it has seen you, it will follow, unseen beneath the surface, waiting until the moment it decides to strike. Unlike the mindless predators of the deep, the sea serpent is no mere beast. Some hunt simply to feed, while others display a patience and cunning that suggest a far deeper awareness. Some lurk in the lightless trenches, waiting in eerie stillness for prey to pass overhead before striking with enough force to snap a ship in half. Others coil in the shallows, their sinuous bodies stirring the water into unnatural whirlpools, dragging vessels down into the abyss. Sailors whisper of sea serpents that seem to move with intent, studying their prey from beneath the waves, watching before they act. Yet not all sea serpents strike without cause. Some claim to have seen them watching from a distance, their glowing eyes unblinking beneath the waves, silent, calculating. They do not always attack, but whether this is restraint or the patience of a predator waiting for the right moment remains unknown. To face a sea serpent is to stand against the will of the ocean itself. The wise do not seek battle with such creatures, for no ship, no weapon, no army can truly match them in their own domain. But for those with no choice, survival comes not from strength, but from understanding. Sea serpents are not mindless. They recognize patterns, study movement, and learn. A ship that panics and flees blindly may find itself pursued, toyed with, and ultimately dragged into the depths. Yet those that hold their course, showing neither fear nor challenge, may be ignored altogether. Some old sailors whisper of ways to turn away the serpent's wrath. Some claim that loud, unnatural noises, such as magical thunderclaps or illusory shrieks, can startle the beast, confusing it just long enough for an escape. Others tell of well-placed harpoons, driven beneath the jaw or into the serpent's luminous eyes, that can force even the mightiest leviathan to retreat. But such stories, like the sea itself, are ever-changing, and against a force as ancient as the tides, no strategy is certain. The Seeker Society has gathered many tales of the sea serpents, each varying by region and teller, but all sharing a deep reverence for the power of these creatures. One such tale speaks of the drowned king, a serpent so vast that its coils formed an island, luring sailors onto its back before plunging them into the abyss. Another tale speaks of the Black Gull. The crew of the Black Gull was well-seasoned, veterans of many voyages. They knew the sea, its tricks, its tempers, its treacheries. So when they found themselves adrift, becalmed in windless waters under an empty sky, they feared something more than bad luck. Then the birds came, hundreds of them shrieking, their wings beating against the ship's mast as they fled from some unseen terror. And then, silence. The ocean, once rippling with the endless motion of the tide, lay still as glass. No waves, no current. The ship sat upon it like a toy frozen in amber. That's when the lookout saw it. A black pit yawning open beneath them, a void where no ocean should be. But it wasn't a hole, it was a mouth. By the time the crew understood, it was too late. The sea itself rose up in coils, impossibly vast, the tendrils of some unseen colossus lurking in the abyss. The ship was not swallowed nor crushed, it simply vanished, pulled beneath the surface without so much as a splash. To this day, sailors speak of places where the ocean feels wrong, where no waves lap against the hull, where the air tastes too still. And they warn, if the waters ever fall silent, do not wait to see what comes next. Another tale, spoken in hushed whispers among mariners, goes something like this. There is a lighthouse standing on the edge of the world, alone and forgotten. It burns no fire, welcomes no ships, and marks no safe harbour. It is said to belong to no one. But it was not always so. Once, long ago, a lighthouse keeper lived there, tending the flame that guided sailors through the endless dark. His watch was lonely but steadfast until the night of the great storm. The sea rose higher than ever before, waves hammering the cliffs, the wind howling like a thing possessed. The lighthouse swayed but stood firm, its beam cutting through the chaos. Then the waves rose higher still, and something rose with them. At first, it was only a shadow, vast and shifting beneath the surface. Then the waters parted, and the head of a colossal serpent broke through the storm. Its ridged spine trailed behind it, vanishing into the abyss, its coils too great to be seen in their entirety. But what the keeper would remember most, what he could never forget, were its eyes, golden, vast, watching. For a long moment, the creature and the man simply stared at one another, one a simple keeper of the flame, the other a beast old as the tides themselves. Then, without a sound, the serpent lowered itself back into the deep, and with it the storm ceased. The skies cleared, the sea calmed, and the lighthouse stood in eerie silence. The next morning, the keeper was gone. His quarters were untouched, his boots sat by the door, the lamp remained full of oil yet unlit, and on the great glass lantern of the lighthouse where his flame once shone, the glass had warped into an unnatural pattern, a spiral of coiling scales, twisting endlessly toward a single golden eye. Some say the lighthouse still stands, but no maps mark its place. No sailor can recall its exact location, but sometimes, on misty nights, a faint glow can be seen on the horizon. Not the warm, golden light of a guiding flame, but something else. A slow, sinuous shimmer beneath the waves, a glimpse of a golden eye beneath the tide, and those who steer toward it are never seen again. And thus, we conclude this entry into the archives of the Seekers Society. If you have enjoyed this voyage into the depths, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Have you encountered the shadow beneath the waves in your adventures? Share your tales in the comments below, and if there is another legend you wish for us to explore, please let us know. Until next time, Seekers, may your journeys be swift, your waters calm, and your ship forever above the waves.